Welcome to Wedding Day Podcast with your hosts, Sonia Babich, CEO of Iron Diamond Media, a leading wedding resource featuring 7 localized wedding brands across the country, and Dan Riggs, photography and videography expert and founder of Summit Hill Studios. Come along as they travel from state to state to connect with the most creative and well-respected professionals in the wedding industry. Every episode will arm you with the hottest new trends, wedding day tips and details, and they'll show you all the joys of planning your perfect wedding day.
Hi everybody, Sonia Babich here with Wedding Day Podcast. I'm sitting here with my friend Brooke Bicey, with publisher of Nebraska Wedding Day and Minnesota Bride. And we have Ether and Cornell here from Downtown Collective here in Nebraska on this blue couch. Hi guys.
Lovely couch.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Oh, we're so excited to have you.
Yeah.
And before we get into your expertise of being a fabulous band, let's talk about how you two started, because it was just you two, right, that kicked off Downtown Collective?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. So the story goes,
I want to hear this. I wanted the story.
well, we both grew up going to church together, and we kind of went our separate ways during college. And then I remember going on social media, I think it was on Facebook, and I just randomly saw a video of Cornell singing. And I didn't know he could sing, so I was like, hey, why don't you come over, let's jam in my attic. And then we're just doing stuff for fun. And then my church throws these dances every year, and so we went to go play for them because it's a very, low stress, forgiving audience to play for. And so we got to play gigs there, yep. And because they used to have DJs and stuff, and we just wanted to change things up a little bit and do some live music. And
I love it.
Then we did our first wedding. And
Just you two?
It was actually 4 of us. There's 2 other people that I met from the UNL School of Music in Lincoln.
Can you see the school?
The UNL School of Music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's in Lincoln, Nebraska. And then we just got reviews from that wedding, and that just kind of propelled us more into the wedding industry. And here we are now.
Yeah.
8 years later. So.
And that was 2016, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 20.
Cool.
Yeah, 20. Well, 2016 was like when was like our first wedding, but we started in like 2015 because that's when I had graduated from college, and then we were doing like the like just jam sessions and everything. So we used to do it like 2 or 3 times a week. We were just we were just doing it for fun, oh, we should cover this song, we should do this, and then just kind of grew from there. And a lot of people actually don't know also that we're actually like technically cousins.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Most people have that reaction. Yeah.
Hey,
So,
Nice.
that's
okay.
awesome. That's small world.
yeah. Yep.
Well, then you're comfortable with each other, like at business together.
Yep.
Hey, that's
Actually,
good.
yes, yeah. I was on, so his wife right now, I was on their date, their very first date.
That's right. We had a
ever.
triple date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've known each other for a long.
That's a whole nother
Don't
story.
worry. My first date had the whole hockey team there, so I'm used to that.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
But-
we go way back. Yeah.
First time we experienced your expertise and your talent was at, I think it was 2022 Best of in Lincoln. And I was just
Yes, for
blown
sure.
away with the amount of people that are in the band and the voices. Like literally, we needed a little energy picked up. And when your crew started singing, I was like, get on the dance floor. And there wasn't even a dance floor. That was the magic part. It was actually carpet. And we
Yeah.
were having a party because of you guys. You literally lifted the energy up. And so as a band, I really feel strongly about what energy you bring to a wedding.
Yeah.
And when you are finding that perfect couple, or the couple finds you, how do you tell them the difference to hire a band? Like, and what is the difference from a 4-piece to a 10-piece? I'm sure you get those questions.
Yeah.
Well, and to piggyback on this too, you guys intentionally have minimum of 9 people when you perform. And I want to
Yes.
hear more about that too, because I think that's kind of unique to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah. First of all, thanks for saying all that.
That's a loaded question.
I know.
I'm sorry.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
No, yeah.
I had a loaded, and then she piggybacked on it.
No, we'll get to all of it, promise
Okay.
you. But just, first, like I said, thanks for saying that about us. We appreciate it. And really, honestly, like, this is kind of surreal, like, full circle moment for us because, like, we started in 2015 and kind of grew from there, and we were doing, like, you know, 15 weddings a year, you know, 20 weddings a year or so. And then we actually met, you know, you, and, you know, got introduced to Nebraska Wedding Day.
In this room.
Yeah, and right here in this room.
In this exact room.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was just like, it's so crazy because, yeah, we talked to Nicole at the time. And one of the things that we do anytime we like meet somebody is we have a rule, like get them on a phone call and just chat to them about like their business and what we do. That's exactly what we did with Nicole. We're just like, hey, yeah, this is what we do, blah, blah, blah. And I think I ended up talking to her for like an hour and a half, just like talking. And then she was like, you know what? We're going to have you play for our Best of Award show. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, she was like, it's going to be great. There's going to be a lot of wedding professionals there. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, you know, and then after I got off the phone, I was like, wait a second. Like, she never even
agree
heard.
to?
Yeah. I was like, hold on. She never even heard us play. Like, I called her back and I was like, hey, did you want to like come here as play or anything? Or you want me to send you some videos? She's like, no, it's fine. She's like, I trust you. Like, that conversation alone was enough for me to like hire you guys. And I'm like, all right. And then we did the Best of show, which you were talking about. And that was like, you know, planners, you know, every type of wedding professional was there. So it's like, once we did that, like everything for us took off. We went from doing like 15 to 20 weddings a year to like over 50 to 60 since then. So like it was crazy how everything catapulted. But yeah, the next question was about the energy that we have and how that differs sometimes from like a DJ, and how we explain that to couples. But
and every couple is different when they select, you know, a DJ versus and all depends on what they prefer.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know,
you want to chat about that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, sometimes DJs are a better fit, but the band's kind of a nice thing because it's a different vibe. You get, you know, a little bit, a lot more energy, I think, from having just a bunch of people on the stage and having a live experience, like having a concert kind of, and just something special about having songs played live by musicians that you can't quite get from a DJ. But
I think that is a good point to point out, concert feel.
Yeah.
It is more of a concert feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we chat with our couples, like actually that's like one of the very first things that we ask them. We ask them, what do you want it to feel like and what do you envision for your reception? Because I think a lot of times couples get hung up on like the things, right? Like we need to have this, we need to have that, we need to have that. And we try to direct our couples to like think about the experience that you want to have and then fill in the things from there. And a lot of times when we're chatting with our couples and like we hear the same thing over and over, like, oh, we just want it to be like a big party. We don't want anybody leaving the dance floor. And we're like, yeah, that's perfect. That's the perfect type of situation for a band. Like having the band there is a completely different experience from a DJ. DJs are great and they're wonderful and we work with DJs all the time. But even just something as simple as like having the drums there, like having a real drum beat that you're there and you're watching. And then you're also watching a performance, you know, so it is like that concert style.
And that's a big reason why we have a 9-piece band, because we want to have the drums, we want to have the piano, guitar, the horns, the vocals, all that goes together so well for a lot of different songs. A lot of the party songs actually have a lot of those instruments, like you have Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
They're like one of the biggest bands out there, and we play a lot of their songs. And they've got like 15 people on stage, like minimum, at their concerts. So we try to give that live aspect to everybody. So
what are the different types of instruments that are in your band, in your collective band?
Yeah. So most typically, kind of like our standard package is going to be 9 musicians. So we'll have 3 vocalists. We'll have 2 horns. So like a small.
I love horns in a band.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone loves horns, right?
Power.
How did that go? Do that again.
Which instrument is that?
She'll do that, and I'll bring the harmonica.
Yes. Oh, I love a harmonica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. So we got brass.
No. That really is like one of the most important things, and that's you know, kind of like what Ether was saying. Like, that's the reason our minimum is 9, because we don't feel that we can give you that same experience without the horns. The horns are a huge part of our band. Like imagine listening to like September, you know, with no horns, you know, like can you do it? Yeah, definitely, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's not the same though.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same. Or even something like Uptown Funk, or you know, some of these more modern like pop songs. It's just a different atmosphere when you have the horns. And like, we're really fortunate because the musicians that we have, a lot of times they'll write their own arrangement to the songs. So like something like All Star or something like that, where you wouldn't hear horns, we play it and we do have horns. So it's just like a different level of
power with your band with that. You guys just know it's crazy. You guys are so talented.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know we have a great violinist in one of the local bands in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And you guys have a new violinist too.
No, maybe not.
Yeah.
You have a violinist?
Well, I mean, we have violinists.
Yeah.
I don't know about a new one. Maybe you know about one. I don't know about.
Okay, never mind.
Tell them to connect with us, because no, we.
Well, I think David travels, so he could always come, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
He's so good. He's open for the Vikings.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
yeah, he's so good.
Really good.
And seeing like something like that, like just something like that was the beginning of the event, and like that was just one musician, and think about like how much that elevated the whole event. It was crazy, like him walking around interacting with people and playing songs that you would typically hear. So yeah.
Right.
But you asked about how the musicians that we have, right?
Yeah,
We have vocalists, we got a horn section, and then we have a rhythm section, which is guitar, bass, drums, and keys. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how have they all been on since the inauguration of Downtown Collective, or do you guys both rotate? Because I know sometimes they're not available on a date, right? And a lot of wedding couples don't know that. Like, say a keyboardist has a wedding they have to go to.
Yeah.
Do you have a fill-in keyboardist, or how do you guys work that magic?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's part of why we call ourselves Downtown Collective, because we have a pool of musicians that are from Lincoln and Omaha, and we're just able to continually book because we just have probably like at least 5 or 6 musicians deep of every instrument.
Wow.
And there's still even more people we meet every week. So
yeah, I think in the last like month and a half, we've met with like at least 12 different musicians that are wanting to come into the fold. So, but I'm really glad you brought that up, because we get that question a lot, especially as we've been growing and expanding. A lot of times we're taking on like 2 weddings on a Saturday. Next year, moving into 3 and like possibly more. But a lot of times, couples or whoever's booking us is like, well, I want what I saw. That's who I want to like book. And we have to like try to explain like, you're not losing any quality no matter like who's on stage. Like I think we hold ourselves to a very high standard, and so the musicians that we bring on, they've all kind of been like trained in the Downtown Collective way. So no matter who's there, it's going to be the same professionalism, same musicianship. Everything is going to be the same.
Question.
Yeah.
Say they want to research, they want to see another group. So like say you two are not on stage, because again, you are quite the performer, Cornell. And but say like you can't have you're booked, right? Can they come and see the other singers at a different like wedding? Is that even a thing, or do you have to ask them permission to the wedding? Like, hey, there might be a couple stopping by to see the performance. Are you okay with that? Is that normal? Is that not normal? What's your protocol?
Sure. Yeah, very rarely do we have people actually go to a wedding, because we just want that to be special to that couple. So what we do is we set up showcases. We try to do that every month at least. And so that's usually in a public setting, so people can come watch us play. And then we usually try to bring in new people at each showcase so they have an opportunity to perform with the band. Then also if somebody was wanting to book us and maybe Cornell's unavailable or myself's not available either, then they can see that new person.
I will say your content is great. Like on socials, there's all kinds of videos, and I'm sure that's of all the different
good point
combinations and stuff. You guys do a great job on your socials of putting videos out so people can see, little teasers.
Because that's where engaged couples are starting the process. Through all the platforms, Instagram, YouTube, probably for you too, to have those real life videos. So they're doing their stalking before they reach out to you guys.
Yeah, they definitely are. It's kind of crazy how that's kind of shifted, and we have an amazing social media team,
Yeah.
Shout out to Emma and Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they we made a conscious decision to like bring on a team instead of us trying to do it and like, oh, let's get some footage while we're performing. So we brought on a team, and they're, you know, really consistent with their posting and everything. But I mean, like, before I came here, I mean, I was just on a meeting with a couple, and they're like, yeah, I got this idea from TikTok, so this is exactly how I want it to be. So yeah, the couples now, that's where they're going. They're going to Instagram and they're going to TikTok to learn about, you know, wedding professionals. So yeah.
And that sometimes gives you ideas too. You're like, oh, they want that. Again, that's how all of us kind of get. They see a design, a floral, something that inspires them. A way for you guys to entertain. You're like, well, I've never done that before.
Yeah.
Let's buckle up and practice this one. Right?
We have a medley that we actually got an idea from a TikTok video that we've done quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like
So yeah, a lot of inspiration there for sure.
So we were just chatting with Mitch at Instant Request, and the new thing is to not play the song entirety. Is that coming up a common thing for your world, or do you
like
play
you said,
your
just medleys?
medleys? Okay, not playing the song from start to finish, or are you trying to?
I think it just kind of depends. I feel like maybe that's the direction it's starting to go, it seems like, you know, since DJs do that a lot.
Yeah.
So we are trying to be more creative about ways we can maybe mash songs up or put them in medleys.
Keep
But we do
everybody
still,
on the dance floor.
yeah, we do. We still play full songs though.
Yeah, because
a
some of
lot
them
of
are
times,
so
so,
good from
yeah.
start to finish.
Yeah.
And
I would say for the most part, yeah, we're playing the entirety of the song. But that's, again, like, that's the difference between having the band and the DJ. Because the DJ, I mean, you can just, like, mash up, like, 10, 12, you know, different songs. And we can do that with a band, but a lot of times...
You're a concert, like you said, though.
Yeah. You want to hear, like,
Full
the full
song.
song.
yeah.
But we try to get really creative with just... I mean, we're constantly talking about, like, all right, how can we open up the dance floor? How can we transition from this song to this song? Like, that is a constant conversation. So we're always just coming up with different ideas, trying them out, like, oh, that went really well. Or, you know, sometimes you try it out and we're like, we're never going to do that again.
Yeah.
So you just kind of got to play with it.
So one other thing I want to bring up. So I always say, like, you're not just hiring a wedding vendor, you're hiring like a team, right? So just like a DJ where they'll be like, okay, and now you're gonna, you know, do this. Like, talk about being like the MC of the night too, and how you work with the other vendors, like working with the photographer to make sure that you don't start a song before they get this picture that they need to get, or like all that kind of stuff, right? Because that's a big part of the night that you guys are a part
And you
of
just
too.
standing on stage, I'm waiting for my cue.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my cue.
Oh man, no, that's a really good question. So I'm usually emceeing. If I'm not emceeing, then Ether's emceing. But like, I think just my natural personality, like, I'm very like meticulous when it comes to the like timeline, and so I'm like probably like overbearing when it comes to like the photographer. Cause I'm serious, like 30 minutes before we're supposed to start something, I'm like, oh hey, we're getting ready to start this, like, and because we've done so many weddings, we know what every vendor needs, right? We know the questions asked. Like, if we're getting ready to start the first dance, we gotta know from the photographer, like, hey, do you want the lights like this? Do you want our lights on? Like, what are we gonna have to turn our lights off?
I love that.
And so I'm like on it. Like, I'm like, all right, we're starting this in 10 minutes. I know where the photographer is mostly at all times. I know where the videographer is at all times. Like, I'm just like...
And you're also probably paying attention that they booked you for 3 hours or 4 hours. And if things get delayed, which they can from speeches and food service for you guys, it's like, okay, how are we going to... do this? Or they probably know that this venue only stays open till midnight, so it is what it is, right?
I don't think the couples, and this is true with any vendor or wedding professional, the couples don't realize like how much stuff is going on, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
Exactly.
But yeah, there's so much stuff that happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
For like if we get off track, like how do we get things back on track and
When
things
they do
like
their
that.
first dance, they probably don't know what time it is.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, you don't really expect them to, because for a lot of people it's their first time. Like,
and they shouldn't be knowing the time on their wedding day.
Right.
Well, and that's why you hire a team that you trust to make sure it all has synergy, right?
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. That's actually one of the things that we talked about on our socials a little bit ago, because we see sometimes where people are trying to do it on their own, like plan it and, you know, be their own coordinator and all this stuff, and
it's not relaxing.
No, and it's definitely not the way to go. Like, in this day and age, like, I don't think that you truly can do a wedding without a planner.
Well, we're
or like
big
a day
preachers of day of coordinator, wedding planner, designer, producer, everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
If anybody asks Sonia, everybody still thinks that we plan when we're a part of our world of publication.
Like, we just get to see all the pretty things.
Yeah, I don't plan. But I would highly recommend a planner. We always say start with the planner. It's worth every penny. So you can enjoy your daughter's day, your niece's day, or whatever they ask. I'm like, get a planner, and then the rest is will be pudding.
You don't want to be stressing about that stuff the day of. Like, some brides or couples, like they don't even want like the spotlight or attention on them, you know.
No.
So it's like,
well, some of them do.
Well, yeah.
It all depends on
whether or not they like it, they get it anyway, because they become the celebrity of the day. It's your party. Everyone wants to talk to you.
They're kind of like grandfathered in. It's kind of like you are, even though you don't want to, but you are.
Yeah, we're here celebrating you. No, the reason I was saying that is because, like, it's just like the things that you have to worry about. Like, if you can just go into your day knowing, like, oh, I don't have to take care of that. I don't have to take care of that. Like, you can just be present in your day. Because I'm the one that's worrying about, like, all right, we got 30 minutes for this, we got 10 minutes for this. Like, they shouldn't have to be worrying about that, you know?
You know, I've shared this term before with the team, but you can't have a good, I'm using my term in a wedding aspect. You can't have a good wedding if you don't have a good chorus. So meaning the lead actors can't be their best selves for a musical if they don't have a good chorus, which to us, the chorus is the wedding professionals, right? And the leads are the couple. So we can't have a good wedding day show if you don't have a good chorus, which is per wedding professionals.
Yes, exactly,
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's so important to, you know, especially in our market here in Omaha and Lincoln, that we like form good, you know, relationships with the professionals, because for the most part, like, we're hanging out with them like every weekend, you know, and so you gotta learn, like, you have to be able to navigate.
They're your buddies.
Yeah, exactly.
They're your family.
They really are.
And when you see actually wedding professionals not getting along, that's a red flag.
Yeah,
it is a red flag.
It's tough. Yeah, it definitely is tough. I won't say there's too many that we don't get along with.
No, who wouldn't get along with you? Okay, I have one more question. So we have to talk about what everybody loves to do, especially when they get cocktails in them. They want to go on stage and sing with the band, sing that song that just their soul comes out.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
How do you drive the bus on that one? How do you navigate when somebody is on stage, but you're like, but it's the mother of the bride? Do you let her have her moment? What do you do?
Man, why'd you have to ask that?
Well, I had my moment at Minnesota Bride. I'm like, I feel the song, and then Brooke came up too.
Yeah,
so
you guys go on stage and you were singing.
I was sober,
unwritten.
So I knew I was being safe.
To be fair, that is a banger. But yeah, you guys got up on stage.
But to be fair, we danced. We didn't take the mic.
Yeah, we didn't take the mic.
That's kind of a loaded question.
Well, number one, hopefully you have a little bit of a riser to help people feel like maybe I can't just like walk on,
stage
right?
is nice.
Like set the presence of being like, this is a one and done. Like there's like no more, because once it starts, it probably unravels, right?
Well, I'll tell you this:
give us a real story.
We've had a lot of like things happen when we're on stage, and you know, everyone's trying to have a good time and have fun, but for us, it's like really inconvenient. Because like when we're singing, like we'll be literally mid-sentence in a song and somebody will come up and like
oh, can you play this song next?
And we're literally singing and it's like, all right, like you're trying to sing the song, you're like, okay, like hold on, you know. And I cannot tell you how many times that has happened. So we all get excited and like want to have a great time at a wedding, but I would encourage, if you're a wedding guest, to not do that. And we
probably
love
safety too.
Yeah, I mean,
there's lots of cords.
Yeah,
you're on a riser.
Someone can spill their
heavy,
drink on like
equipment.
Drinks. But I don't say that to like be like a Grinch or anything. Like, we love being able to interact with the crowd, and that's one of the benefits of having a live band, because there's that live give and take. I'll also say that a lot of times, like, people think that they're like musicians and musically talented, and there's a lot of great musicians in this world, you know. And we'll have
especially the cowbell.
The cowbell, or so something like that is not like, that's not a big deal, you know.
I pretend cowbell.
If you want to do the cowbell, like, here, like, go ahead, take it, you know.
I
and
think
we'll
we
like
get permission tomorrow.
we'll keep you on beat, you know. But no, a lot of times we have people ask like, oh, hey, like, my brother was in the band, or like, my husband's in the band, like, can he play a song with you guys? And we always say like, yeah, sure, we'd love that. That's a great moment. Excuse me. Just bring your own instrument, and you know, we'll go from there. And then the actual day of, it never happens.
Okay.
Because like, they're either too drunk, or they're like, nah.
Get too nervous about it.
Yeah. They're like, no, I'm not going up there. But yeah, we've had some interesting interactions on stage.
I'm sure that's kind of a curveball.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, who's coming up? We got the maid of honor,
Yeah,
right? Coming in hot.
Yeah, you never
You never know.
We got stories. We got stories for days.
I'm sure. Well, a lot of the stories happen after 9 o'clock. I know I don't usually say this out loud to the camera, but nothing good happens after 9 o'clock in the wedding world. That's in the babysitting, which it does, because that's where the fun is. That's when the alcohol kicks in. But it's also when all the wedding professionals put on their A game, because their job now is to keep everybody safe and having fun. And that's when the stories come out.
Well, we love it. Yeah, we love it. It's a fun time. Like, we get to basically party like every single weekend, you know.
You do.
Yeah. And so yeah, we're super fortunate.
Well.
We're always looking for moments too to make it special for the couple. Like, if we can bring them on stage, and you know, they can play the cowbell, or maybe they want to sing along. You know, that's a core memory for them, you know.
It is. One of my core memories was playing the cowbell. At my wedding. Of course. Didn't sing, but I played the cowbell.
Yeah, we love that. I'm trying to keep you guys off the stage when we perform. I saw the last performance from y'all too. And
I have a music background, so I promise. But you're like, everybody says that, Sonia. Well, you guys, thank you so much for sitting down. This is probably the most time I've ever giggled on a podcast. But thank you for being you guys and supporting us as well. And I'm glad we were able to support you too and your growth. So, and I can't wait to dance on the dance floor tomorrow night at the Nebraska Wedding Day Best of.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for having us, and we appreciate everything that you guys have done for us. So,
cool.
Thank you.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to Wedding Day Podcast, and we will see you next time. See you, bye.